bowled cleverly, isn't he? He loves using that angle around the wicket, sort of primarily skidding on and challenging the outside edge, but then occasionally getting one just to grip and turn and bringing the LBW or the bowled to play. Runs aren't coming easily outside of this first power play now.
No, there's shade over sixes in that power play, and I think not unreasonable to expect half that for the rest of the innings if the Dutch lost it, but that is all they need. Threes and over.
Good assessment of the conditions. You'd imagine Ryan Cook, Ryan Van Niekerk, Heino Kuhn would have had a good bit to do with that, alongside the openers and Scott Edwards. They'd have planned that out at the halfway stage.
Yeah, reassuring really. It seems that the Dutch camp have come to the same conclusion as we did. It's always heartening to know. Fair to say they know more about it than we do.
Singh tends to like pace on the ball.
Yeah, this is an aerial trial for Vikram. Ball coming through, neck height at a pace, he doesn't mind that. But this patience, the focus required here, just to try and keep the ball out, just try and pick the gaps.
Just get into lovely shapes though, doesn't he, when he drives? He's good, he looks so good. You can see why Peter Barron was such a fan of his. He's a bit of a protege of Barron.
Yeah, that's right. Vikram's been learning his cricket at the VRA ground down in Amstelveen since, he was about yay high. In fact, we don't have a commentary cam, but say that's a little over knee.
Nicely cut away. Beats the man in the ring and beats the one in the deep too. First boundary for Engelbrecht, and it breaks a string of tight overs. 6 come from it, 84 for 2.
जम्सबाट बच्न अब पाउनुहोस् 100 ग्रामको लाइफबोय साबुन मात्र रु 45 मा। हरेक निर्माणको धड्कन युनाइटेड सिमेन्ट्स।
But now with the absence, well-publicised absence of Sandeep Lamichhane, Bertel has to provide that variety. He's done it pretty well. He's taken wickets when he has bowled. Slow through the air, he does get turn, has a googly. I thought they might go to Rohit Powdell himself because of the left-hander at the crease, but with 7 wickets to his name, they turn to Kushal Bertel.
Yeah, part-timer no longer, I think. Looks like the Namibian skipper has really come into his own with the bowling. It's a project Nepal have been working on, I think, since they were deprived of the services of Sandeep Lamichhane. And it has really paid off for them so far this series.
In some very helpful conditions, but that is too short, it's too wide. And Singh cashes in. Not a good start. That's why I thought the leg spinner wouldn't come in yet. 4 more to Singh, back-to-back boundaries.
Yeah, lovely ball to calm the nerves, that. It's just, too wide. It's sat up there for him. Well, he's still got to make the shot, so he does. Well in front of square, and there is no one getting near that.
Things looked really good, actually. I thought he might find it difficult to adjust for what is his first innings on tour. There wasn't any official warm-up games. They might have had some time batting out in the middle in terms of nets. He's looked really sharp thus far.
Word we've had from the Dutch camp is that Levitt's just made such an overwhelming case as opener in the nets. He's just managed to keep Vikram out. Well, we see today just how hard he had to work to do that. And he's looking comfortingly comfortable out there.
Some of the family and friends in one of the VIP areas there for Nepal. Googly, not picked, but not full enough. Almost on the edge of their seats, everyone in the crowd, they want to be able to have something to cheer. Only 2 wickets have fallen. The Dutch keep scoring runs, which is making this total Point of view quickly. Could have missed the leg stump by a long way, that one. Maybe bat involved too. Better length.
Yeah, the crowd have gone quiet here a little. You think just take one wicket to change that? Just to compare the atmosphere here to when we were here 2 days ago, when that crowd is on their feet and roaring, it really does add enormous amounts of pressure to visiting teams here.
Another googly, but Engelbrecht's picked it this time and will put Anil Sah under pressure in the deep. Engelbrecht will be quick enough to get back for two because of the fumble. Nepal are almost clutching at straws a little bit here, aren't they?
Yeah, but good to see. Still putting the body on the line there. Well, to keep the body behind it at least. Yeah, stop the 2 runs, but yeah, the Dutch, they're just settling into their work now, aren't they?
Better from Bertel to finish, but 7 runs come from his first as the Dutch continue to stamp their authority on this chase.
Your KFC chicken roll. On a budget, but craving satisfied. जडीबुटीयुक्त कपाल झर्न नदिने नयाँ कपाल पार्ने श्रीकै जडीबुटी आयुर्वेदिक हेयर ओइल
Miles in the crowd are very much nervous ones right now because Nepal know they're staring down the brink of a third defeat in 4 games. Coming into this series, Bertus, it's incredibly hard to predict with the Netherlands coming back down to a level they haven't played at an awful lot in the last 5 or 6 years. Namibia, very different side here than they are in Windhoek, and they're also shorn of a lot of injuries that had them short of probably 4 or 5 players on the tour last February. And Nepal full of confidence after a historic 2023. We didn't know what to expect. Nepal have found it tough.
Yeah, that's right. Well, the Dutch coming down a level, you might expect them to dominate, but as Ryan Cook rightly pointed out, this is a very different sort of cricket from chasing 350 at Pune. It's just an adjustment that you have to make. I don't think there was really any question ever of the Dutch underestimating the opposition here. But still, it's a very different experience, really, as well. Coming in, playing games, different sort of pressure, games that you're expected back home to win, rather than really with nothing to lose as an underdog.
It's another rapid over from Irie. It's a maiden. 19 ball, 91 for 2.
टेक्वान्डोमा जस्तै रिलायबिलिटी र सही कनेक्सन इन्टरनेटमा हुन जरुरी छ। त्यसैले त मैले डिसोम फाइबर नेट जोडेको छु। तपाईं पनि आफुलाई विश्वास गर्नुहोस् र डिसोम फाइबर नेट नै रोज्नुहोस्। डिसोम फाइबर नेट।
Namaskar, Mom, Miss Nepal, Miss DHI, Sricha Pradhan, wishing you all a happier home.
Come on guys, just subscribe this channel yaar.
Imagine Momo Cricket Chat there, you can see next to the tripod, doing fantastic work for Can now as a video analyst, technical team analyst, was working with one of the sides in the PM Cup. And that expansion of the scale of domestic cricket, certainly something that we heard from
चल वर्तलले मेडल नम्बर गरेको छ यहाँ.
going to be crucial to the ongoing and future success of cricket here in Nepal. Very heartening to see the amount of PM Cup cricket there is now.
Yeah, and I think some of the dividends we're seeing play out on screen in front of us. Michel Bertel really thought of that.
19.3 ball.
It's been developed, bowling a few more overs in the Prime Minister Cup. And likewise, of course, the captain, Rohit Pardal, who's really developed into a proper all-rounder now with his off spin. As you say, I wouldn't mind seeing at this stage.
I think they should turn to the skipper at some point sooner rather than later as Engelbrecht gets a single. Very happy Jack Kingman. He's found some fellow Dutch supporters today, isn't he? He managed to twist the arms of some locals who had 20 or 30 up in the crowd. Bowling with finesse. Lala, Narayan, Najbanshi keep making us proud. Always love to see the colour here in the crowd at the TU. And the occasional interesting vantage point as well. Too short thus far from Bertel to pose a real threat. Surprised no Surya Tamang throughout the series, leading wicket taker in the PM Cup and a couple of appearances against Canada too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just given the way that we've seen a couple of players included late through weight of runs, you'd have thought the weight of wickets might have accomplished the same. Yeah, on the other hand, it doesn't really do to unsettle the squad too much. I thought perhaps in the first innings there's a bit of confusion in terms of the batting order. Nepal above all have really looked a little bit unsettled this series.
Seem to have had a different batting order for all 4 games, haven't they? Only constants being Sheikh and Bertel at the top. Everything else seems to be tinkered with and played around with a bit. 2 runs come from Bertel's second over. 20 have been bowled now. It's 93 for 2.
DHI happier home. छुट्टै छ है।
कपाल झर्न दिने नयाँ कपालको लागि सुइकी जडीबुटी आयुर्वेदिक हेयर अयल जम्सबाट बच्न अब पाउनुहोस् 100 ग्रामको लाइफबोय साबुन मात्र रु 45 मा।
एक्सक्यूज मी सर, यो ताता तो बुलेट त सुन्या हो तर काजो
यो बुलेट यहाँ खान्छस् कि जेलमा गएर खान्छस्? बुलेट जस्तै छ।
That's what it's all about. Youngsters up in the crowd, ball in hand, watching their heroes. Dad behind. Plenty of young cricketers who've come in to watch. Such a lovely pathway and platform now for young Nepali cricketers through what we've seen as a provincial under-16 system, under-19, some under-14 tournaments too. And it will be the change that Bertus de Jong and I speculated about. Rohit Paudel, the captain, with his off breaks to replace Tapender Singh Airi. Different kind of spinner. We'll get a bit more turn and a bit slower through the air. For the Dutch, if they can close this victory out, will they be reasonably satisfied with their first appearance back in Cricket World Cup League 2?
Well, I think after a difficult start, perhaps, yeah. In the context of it, it's always nicer to win the last one, whatever the final score.
Then it will be a different Dutch side, won't it, really, for the T20Is? We saw Fred Klaassen and Tim van der Hoogten a couple of times around the boundary. They'll really stock up the pace bowling options for the Dutch. I think Baz de Leede has to depart, doesn't he? Oh, that's nearly got through him. Big gap between bat and pad.
Yeah, that's the matchup we wanted. Just really kept its line. Expansive drive, really, from Vikram Singh.
Better this time. Yeah, de Leede will miss out. Any other changes to the Dutch squad?
And de Leede returning, of course, to former Dutch coach Ryan Campbell with Durham, who are currently touring in Zimbabwe. And Ollie Eilenbaas back home as well. And you get a look in this tour, really just for the experience.
Yeah, tricky that, isn't it? I suppose with the expansion to 15-player squads, it's one of the other changes for this League 2 cycle. Not just rest days after every ODI now, but also an extra player in the squad. You're occasionally going to get that, aren't you? Guys who come and don't get a look in. 2 singles from Paudel's first over, and we do finally get to that first Ricks break. 21 have been bowled. 95 for 2.
तपाईको असली एनर्जी ब्रेड असली नै रोजौं
सकले तोरीको तेलमा सधैँ राग आउँछ र त्यो राग शुद्ध धारा तोरीको तेलमा सधैँ रहिरहन्छ। याद राख्नुहोस्, सबै तेल धारा तोरीको तेल जस्तो शुद्ध चाहिँ नहुन सक्छ।
एनएस चिन्ह प्राप्त शुद्ध तोरीको तेल धारा
मुठु चाहिन्छ।
title sponsor.
होम फाइबर नेट भरपर्दो र विश्वासिलो छ म जस्तै
Dish Home Fiber Net. Powered by
DHI happier home छुट्टै छ है
Energized by
तपाईँको असली एनर्जी ब्रान्डको असली नै रोज्नु
Connected by Ansel. Co-sponsor
एनएस चिन्ह प्राप्त शुद्ध तोरीको तेल धारा
मुटु चाहिँ
Hair Care Partner
32 जडीबुटी युक्त कपाल झर्न नदिने नयाँ कपाल उगार्ने स्विकी जडीबुटी आयुर्वेदिक हेयर ओइल
Celebration Partner
KFC chicken roll अब बजेटमा क्रेभिङ satisfied
supported by
Bank the reason for your success
Food Delivery Partner
For food, Food Mandu
Exclusive Rights and Marketing AD Release Broadcast Partner Action Sports SD and Dish Home Go app
डिसोम फाइबर नेट मार्फत म मेरा प्रियजनहरूसँग सम्पर्कमा रहिरहन सक्छु डिसोम फाइबर नेट एउटा गतिशील मात्र नभएर उत्तिकै विश्वासिलो पनि छ जित मेरो लागि मैदानमा मात्र होइन बाहिर पनि हुनुपर्छ परिवार साथीभाइ र फ्यानहरूको मन जित्नको लागि डिसोम फाइबर नेटको सही कनेक्सनले सजिलो बनाइदिएको छ
Dish Home Fiber Net
चिकन खोल
Powerful Just Freezer एनर्जी सकिन्छ पनि जम्छ DHI Happy Home छुट्टै छ है
तपाईको असली एनर्जी असली नै रोजो रेड बुल टिममा बेस्ट रोजैमा पसिलो एकमात्र ओरिजिनल सबैभन्दा जोसिलो
तपाईँको असली एनर्जी ब्रान्डको असली नै रोज्नु
स्विकी जडीबुटी आयुर्वेदिक हेयर ओइल 32 जडीबुटी युक्त कपाल झर्न नदिने नयाँ कपाल उगार्ने कपाल कालो बनाउने शक्ति सिकाउने हामी कपाल पुरानो मानिसहरू फोकस दिस फ्युल अर्थात् फुड त्यो पनि टाइममा For food, Food Mandu
जम्सबाट बच्न अब पाउनुहोस् 100 ग्रामको लाइफबोय साबुन मात्र रु 45 मा
Unfussed as Rajbanshi returns to the attack. He's cut away for what should be at least a couple. Will be to Andrew Leonard here alongside Bertus de Jong. Just going to keep me company for another 3 or 4 hours. Bertus, the Dutch will be really happy with their position.
Yeah, make a plan, stick to the plan. I think this was more or less exactly where the Dutch wanted to be at the first drinks break. Plus we hadn't expected 21 overs to be bowled by then. I think any of us had, really. Yeah, I think Anglo West and Singh have done well after those 2 wickets. Just to settle things.
Possibly the scale of extravagant turn that we might have expected. If anything, because it's been the warmest day of the year and starting to flatten out a bit with the sun, it looks easier to bat.
And I think we were all expecting a bit more grip, certainly by this dark point in the afternoon. It hasn't really happened for Nepal. At this stage, to say add 2 wickets to the score if you want to know where the game really is, well, even with 2 wickets you'd say the Dutch would still be on top at this point. Nepal at this point really what they need, I think. Bit of lift from the 12th man.
Yeah, those up in the crowd have to somehow bring them to life. Just met one fan there in the drinks break who said, I still believe, I still dream that we can win this game. It's going to need something pretty miraculous, and we have seen some extraordinary chases and tight finishes at this venue, particularly last February and March. Then on into the ACC Premier Cup in April, May too, and then both at the Mulpani ground and here during that T20 World Cup Asia qualifier. Nepal are going to have to go deep into the well of resolve to find a way to get this game into life, because at the moment the Dutch are just closing it out. The big boost has been this man into the team today who's looked really fluent and actually comfortable against spin.
It's been genuinely impressive from young Vikram. Won't be doing his career strike rate any good, but he's really doing a great job for his team here. You almost wonder why he spent so much time on the bench.
Too full again, the runs coming from every ball, not even any pressure. As 100's going to come up in the 22nd over, they only need 73 more from here. Nepal desperately in need of not just a wicket, 1, 2, 3 wickets quickly, just to send the cat amongst the pigeons. Otherwise, Netherlands going to canter home and make it 2 from 4 in the series and leave Nepal bottom of the table. You never are quite in on the surfaces that we've seen played on here thus far at the TU. It's been tough for the batters.
Yeah, just the first signs of genuine turn and bounce there. Rajbanshi, Singh adjusted well enough. Yeah, for the first home series, the opening series of League Two, desperately disappointing for Nepal. Finished with just 2 points to their names.
Beauty, more like it, the first dot of the over, but it's not enough for Nepal. 6 runs have come from Rajbanshi's 8. It's 101 for 2.
DHI happier home. छुट्टै छ है
डबल मज्जा प्याक पाउनुहोस् डबल डाटा भ्यालिडिटी नसकिँदै गरेको हरेक खरिदमा मात्र रु 150 देखि सुरु हरेक निर्माणको धड्कन युनाइटेड सिमेन्ट्स
एक्सक्युज मी सर यो तातो बुलेट त सुन्या हो तर काँचो
बुलेट यहाँ खान्छस् कि जेलमा गएर खान्छस् बुलेट जस्तै छिटो
Rode Patel to bowl his second, Nepal's captain, developing into an all-rounder with his off breaks. Yes, it was the call at first, and then a scream of no's. Kushal Mala's left hand is his stronger one. For the Dutch, looking out to that T20 series, that'll provide fantastic preparation for the T20 World Cup. You have to think with 9 associates there, these are halcyon days for the emerging game.
Busy schedule for both of these sides leading up to the T20 World Cup. In the United States and the West Indies, I think we'll probably see a fair diversity of surfaces to be played on that. Both of these guys, these teams, not short of venues.
Half a chance, maybe just a slip of a chance. Ranil Sam mid-on is up in the circle. Powdell thought it was a chance, but it was more trying to prevent the boundary than take the catch, and Singh gets 4 more.
Yeah, he's not got that out of the middle. It's not where he intended it. Just could as easily have skidded a little higher, a little wider.
It was actually well wide, wasn't it? I thought at first that Sa almost got something on it across to his right. It was a catchable height, but well clear. Good aggression again, good clear thinking and game plans, calculated risk, calculated aggression from the Dutch. Better to finish with Patel. 105 for 2.
तपाईको असली एनर्जी ब्रेकको असली नै रोजो
एक्सक्युज मी सर यो तातो बुलेट त सुन्या हो तर काँचो
बुलेट यहाँ खान्छस् कि जेलमा गएर खान्छस् बुलेट जस्तै छिटो
Namaskar, Mom, Miss Nepal, Ramis DHI, Sricha Pradhan, wishing you all a happier home.
Happier छट्टै छ है यो KFC chicken roll अब budgetमा craving satisfied
Rajbanshi into his penultimate. Has picked up 1 wicket, but he's been reasonably expensive too in the grander scheme of things. Bertus, just keep you with me for 2 more overs. The build-up to that T20 World Cup with the 9 associates, you'd expect all those sides to play against each other quite a bit?
Yeah, against each other a fair bit, and against their fellow associates. The Dutch are off to Uganda, I think, after this, later next month, for a tri-series against Uganda and Oman. And then, of course, Scotland and Ireland for a Euro tri-series back at my gaff at the Vere ground in Amstelveen.
They're always keenly contested, those 3 best 3 European associates are. This one's pulled with a good bit of power. Will just be a single. I always consider Ireland an associate, sometimes I forget. Emerald Isle is a test nation now, but certainly the 3 outside of England, the 3 best sides in Europe, and tend to like beating up on each other a bit as well, don't they?
Yeah, I member now, but I think just like Zimbabwe, their willingness to arrange fixtures against their former associate peers, they're still seen as very much part of the family.
Would you expect, obviously these two will meet in each other's group in Group D of the T20 World Cup, you'd expect it to be a very tough group, that one. Group of death, is it?
Yeah, so I don't think there was any rejoicing when that draw came out here in Kathmandu or back in Amsterdam, in Rotterdam. But you've got to win them, don't you?
Tossed up teasingly, nearly squeezes between bat and pad. Yeah, it's South Africa, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh as the three test nations. As we look at the replay here. Back live with you now. And then it will be Nepal and the Netherlands as the two associates in that Group D. Again, there is sharp turn, but it's slow enough for Singh to be able to deal with it. Rajmanchi only has one left. Nepal in need of something of a miracle from here. 108 for 2, Netherlands. Fan in this ground is looking for something to cheer right now, and they're not getting it because the Dutch are in cruise control. Barely faced half of their allocated overs. They're well past the halfway mark of the total they need to get to, which is 173. And a bit of a roll of the dice on a day that a series that hasn't been that profitable for the Seamers. We're going to see Road Pedal call on Karen KC.
I think turning to pace on at this stage of the innings just shows that Nepal are not where they want to be. This will not have been in the plans, I think, ahead of this chase.
Engelbrecht, we spoke about.
sixes and fours as well in the first power play.
Hasn't been that wicket-taking threat, has there, for Nepal? The surface has looked easier to bat on, as you see that lovely off drive from Gurpreet Singh, who's batted very nicely, I have to say. Lack of a kind of a second wicket-taking spinner. I know Bertel will say he's one, but I suppose a second frontline spinner. No Surya Tamang selected again today. Gulshan Jabro back into the side, but not being given a chance with the ball yet. So some batting order permutations and difficulties for Nepal to work out, some selection difficulties. It's not the end of the world for this campaign at all. It's only 4 games into 36, but it's not the start they would have wanted on home soil.
Yes, it's not a good start at home soil. Yeah, Nepal definitely missing the second front-arm spinner. All part-timers, Dipender Singh Airi, Rohit Paudel, Kushal Bhurtel, the part-time leggy, Kushal Malla, the left-arm orthodox part-timer. After 26, Netherlands 115 for 2.
We have become the Bank of the Year 2023. Today, your trust has become the reason for our success. So let us be the reason behind yours. Prabhu Bank, the reason for your success.
Namaskar, Mom, Miss Nepal, Ramesh DHI, Sricha Pradhan, wishing you all
Happy home. छुट्टै छ है.
Overs remain, no required run rate pressure at all. Nepal, some of their senior players just coming together. Rohit Paudel having a chat to Karen KC. There's a message being run on by one of the 12th men, that's Sampal Kami, not in the team today. Deflated atmosphere here right now. Nepal won't give up, they won't stop fighting, but the Netherlands are looking in cruise control right now. A really impressive performance. This one's tickled around the corner. It'll just be a single. Despite the fumble, we've seen lots of bounce backs in this series. Netherlands beaten a few days ago. They look like they're going to bounce back and take a big win. Nepal did it once. Namibia did it once in the most dramatic of fashions. Very topsy-turvy, hard to predict.
Yes, very hard to predict. And in Nepal, the way they play, they are not going to stay relentless like this. They're going to fight until the last run is scored. Hit it straight towards the side screen. One bounce over the fence. A good hit by Vikramjit Singh.
Yeah, and this is what he likes. He loves pace on the ball. Stand and deliver stuff. It was thudded into the surface by KC. I think it might have been the attempted slower ball bouncer that we saw Baz Deleda use pretty well. You can almost hear a pin drop apart from the background music now around this ground as Nepal, their faithful again, turned up in huge numbers. They might be witnessing a third defeat in 4 games, albeit all 3 of those defeats have been when Nepal have lost the toss. Pull shot this time again. Acres of vacant space over onto the leg side. Back-to-back boundaries. Netherlands want to finish this in a hurry.
This is what Nepali batsmen didn't do. After staying there playing 40 deliveries for 20 runs, they didn't put the bat ball away. That is what Vikramjit Singh is doing for the Netherlands. He came in a difficult condition, played himself in. Now he's attacking the bowlers. He likes the pace on ball deliveries. That is what Karan Casey is providing him. Now there's a change in the field. There's a deep mid-wicket in place. The mid-on field there is inside the circle, and the final fielder has brought in the 30-yard circle. both mid-off and mid-on inside the 30-yard circle.
This game is all but gone, really, for Nepal. Learnings from the series for Monty Desairo, Powdell and his men. Obviously, hoping for better surfaces come for the T20s and also later starts. The 9:30 am starts on with difficult weather around, very, very cold for the time of year. It hasn't been easy.
Yeah, that is one of the cases for the defeat, for the 3 defeats, 1 in line here. But specialist batsman Karan Casey bowling that way behind the stumps from 25 to 26 yards away from the pitch.
Well, we just wonder whether or not that's going to be allowed, because you cannot deliver the ball from behind the standing umpire. An umpire Asif is going to come across to have his say. He's got to bowl it at least from in line with the umpire. I'm not sure a moment as insignificant as this is going to matter, but they're going to just decide it was a dead ball, as Singh maybe not ready, and Singh asking should it not be a no ball and a free hit, but they're going to say a dead ball for now, and Karan Casey will have to re-bowl that.
Yes, he bowled the ball away from behind the umpire. He usually does that. We saw that in China when they played the Asian Games playing against India. He pulled the ball way behind the umpire.
You have to check the laws. I thought it might have been a no ball from behind the umpire, but obviously it's a dead ball. Trust the 2 standing officials there. So, has to re-bowl it. Helped straight to Powdell at mid-on, who's trying to get his men going, but the lack of success for the seamers in the series in general, particularly Nepal's, with only Sampal Kami in the wickets, I believe. That's been a real disappointment, a real surprise.
Yes, Karan Casey has lost that zip that he had earlier in his playing days. 32-year-old Karan Casey, he's the main reason why Nepal is still here playing the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup League 2. The main reason for qualification for the ODI status. Inside edge, ball rolling behind the stumps, a boundary to end the over after 27. Netherlands 128 for 2.
Namaskar. Miss Nepal, Ramis DHI, Sricha Pradhan, wishing you all a happier home.
Happier home छुट्टै छ है
डबल मज्जा प्याक पाउनुहोस् डबल डाटा भ्यालिडिटी नसकिँदै गरेको हरेक खरिदमा मात्र रु 150 देखि सुरु स्वादले बाँधेको
सनफ्लावर ओइल मायाले बाँधेको स्वाद
Well, some of the fans have decided that this result is already done and dusted. It's still 45 more to win. Plenty of them who've come in hoping to finish this League 2 series with a win. They're voting with their feet right now. Misfortune this time for Karan KC, but again, we just haven't seen anyone really succeed or profit from that length, particularly with fine leg and third up in the circle. Rajbanshi bowled his 10th, so can't blame Powdell for not giving his primary spinners as many overs as possible. But Engelbrecht and Singh have gone about this very professionally, and now that class that the Dutch have, remember they beat Nepal quite convincingly in the qualifier down in Zimbabwe in June. Went on to qualify for the Cricket World Cup, the 50-over Cricket World Cup down in India. That class is starting to tell today.
Yes, it has, and a good, vibrant innings by Vikramjit Singh and Saibrand Ellenbrett, 36 and 24 respectively. A good partnership this between these two for the third wicket. Still fighting in the Nepal team. They will fight till the last winning run is scored.
outside edge this time. Yeah, Rajbanshi hasn't bowled badly, but Netherlands have just played him quite nicely. Real concern for all the fans who've come in today.
Yes, the openers, Michael Levitt and Max O'Dowd, they were relentless, brutal against Lalit Rajbanshi in the initial stages of the innings. They were going at the rate of 7 runs per over at one stage.
You can't fault their enthusiasm, their passion, their knowledge, or their support, but today I don't think it's going to be enough. Dutch have been just too good. You'd have to say that although the quality opposition incredibly high, Namibia and the Netherlands, winning 1 from 3 on home soil, definitely disappointing. Finishes with 1 for 42. It's 129 for 2.
डिश होम फाइबर नेट और पर्दो र विश्वासिलो छ म जस्तै
डिश होम फाइबर नेट 32 जडीबुटी युक्त कपाल झर्न नदिने नयाँ कपाल मार्ने स्विटिस जडीबुटी आयुर्वेदिक हेयर ऑयल टिकी रहने क्वालिटी लिके
Dismissal of their 2 openers, and quite a few of the fans have decided enough's enough. It's time to get back home because this game isn't going to go the way that they would like it to. Shadows starting to lengthen across the pitch as Mala, as a change of ends, and a misfield will allow a single to Engelbrecht. This is as flat as I remember seeing Nepal over the course of Monty Desai's tenure. Is there any concerns for going forward into what's a massive year for the game here in Nepal, or just 3 tough games where they've lost the toss in all 3 of those defeats if they do lose today?
Yeah, you cannot blame the toss for any result of the game. It's just about getting the whole team together, having a chat. Let's just say the bad games, the bad days are over us. Just recalculate their team's performance. Not try to over-experiment on the batting lineup in the playing 11 changes. Just stick to the specialist on the specialist numbers.
Tries a little arm ball this time, but can't land it. And I have to say, these 2 have played with real maturity, haven't they? We know it's difficult, it's not easy. And that one's now pumped into the leg side. Powdell can't get a hand on it. Bertel does really well to keep it to 1.
Yes, diving effort by Anil Shah there at mid-wicket. Couldn't get his hand to it. Kushal Bultail doing the cleaning up in the boundary line. Just a single to Vikramjit Singh. Pulled away. It was airborne, but diving effort by Anil Shah to his right. Again, straight to Anil Shah at short extra. 3 runs, 2 runs off his over after 29. Netherlands 131 for 2.
DHI happier home छुट्टै छ है
जम्सबाट बच्न अब पाउनुहोस् 100 ग्रामको लाइफबोय साबुन मात्र रु 45 मा
New KFC chicken roll. Up a budget by craving satisfied.
Excuse me, sir. यो तातो बुलेट त सुन्या हो तर काँचो
यो बुलेट यहाँ खान्छस् कि जेलमा गएर खान्छस् बुलेट चल्छ बुलेट जस्तै छिटो
The required rate is not important. For the Netherlands, a good partnership between these 2. Singh and Engelbrecht. A Yorker by Dipen Singh Arya, nicely played by Singh for a single. It's all about taking wickets for Nepal. Nepal were around 30 to 40 runs short in the first innings. They could have scored more than 200 the way they started the innings, the first one.
You have to say, it was 40 for none. We were thinking of 220, 240, something like that. And just all of the momentum went out of the batting effort. There's a few moments of misfortune, Irie in particular, that run out and on striker's end. That's nicely cut, finds the gap, and will find a couple as it's a long way out to Gulshan Jah. Surprisingly hasn't bowled today. I suppose the conditions not in his favour. The one thing that has surprised me a touch, understand why the surfaces have been tricky with the weather the way it's been, the weight of cricket that's been here in the lead up. The thing that has surprised me has been the lack of tight finishes. Another misfield will allow a single. It's really just two of the 6 games that have been close. I guess, is that a byproduct of the conditions?
The first inning score was always above 200. In the meanwhile, after 30 overs, Netherlands won 35 for 2.
DHI happier home. Today sa hai.
Contests about 5 runs required per over. Then there's not only 172 on the board, so this chase will be rounded out by the Dutch. You'd have to think possibly by these two. They've looked pretty flawless, pretty faultless. Even with that lower total on the board, I don't think Nepal have bowled as well as they can, or with the quality or consistency that they can. Real questions to answer for them going into the T20I series with very short turnaround. The first game in that will be Tuesday.
Yes, only daybreak for the Tri-Series. That is a T20I Tri-Series. Been very impressed with Vikramjit Singh, the way he came in, the way he nudged the ball around, the way he took singles in the initial stages, and when he got set, he hit the balls out of the park, all along the ground, over the bowler's head. Been very impressed by Singh. And Engelbrecht as well. Came in at number 4 while he was playing at number 3 in the beginning of the series.
I think both of these two will be desperate to get Netherlands home and get a well-deserved red ink and not out next to their name. Won't mind or think too much about the net run rate right now because there's so much cricket to play in this series. Over the wicket now, Mala. Sweep shot comes out but can't beat the man. 2 from Mala's 4th. It's 137 for 2.
तपाईको असली एनर्जी रेड बुल असली नै रोजौं
जम्सबाट बच्न अब पाउनुहोस् 100 ग्रामको लाइफबोय साबुन मात्र रु 45 मा
32 जडीबुटी युक्त कपाल झर्न नदिने नयाँ कपाल पार्ने श्रीकेश जडीबुटी आयुर्वेदिक हेयर ऑयल
Excuse me,